So 2.6, the quadratic formula. We have factored, we have solved equations by factoring, correct? Now, when you get a quadratic equation, the first thing you want to do is factor. If you can't factor, you can complete the square like we've done. Yes? So that's another method you have. But the method that is used the majority of the time, if you ask anyone in pre-calc or calculus or on, if you can't factor something and it's quadratic, you use the quadratic formula. So this is a formula that you have to know. And you have to know that you use it when you can't factor. Understand me? So on your test, you will need to know the formula. So I suggest you write it down every time you use it so it helps you remember it. So complete the square in standard form. So I want to just complete this. I'm on the right one, yes? Yes. Okay, so I want to complete the square. So how did we complete the square?
Did we already do this?
Yeah, so do it again. How would we do it?
I don't know.
You get rid of the C plus an X.
Okay, you factor out the A, kick out the C. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? So in here you would have A squared plus B over AX.
Yeah.
Why would it be B over A?
Because that's the...
Because you did what with the A? You factored it out and that's division. Yes?
Yeah, that.
Okay. So we would have B over A divided by 2 squared. Now that looks absolutely horrible, yes? So when we divide by 2, we are multiplying by a half. So wouldn't it be easier to look at this? To put a 2A squared? See that? Okay. So in here, that becomes plus B over 2A squared. And we have to do what? Subtract B over 2A squared. I'm just completing the square, right? So this piece would factor to X plus B over 2A, quantity squared. We have an A. Well, this is just going to be like it, right? Should we make this B squared over 4A squared? Can we do that? That looks prettier, doesn't it? How did I get B over 2A squared to... Oh, this should be B squared, shouldn't it? B squared over 4A squared.
2 squared.
Yeah, I distributed the square, right? Well, it equals 0, doesn't it? Should I get common denominators?
Yeah.
Yeah? So it would be 4A squared. So this would be C 4A squared, C, minus B squared. Should I subtract this to the other side?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we put a negative in front of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I have A x plus B over 2A squared. We're just moving things around, right? And we got to solve it for x, because that's what we do when we complete the square, don't we? So then what would we do? We'd divide by a, wouldn't we? Okay, so that's, can I just put 1 over a over here?
Mm-hmm.
Because that'd be dividing by it, right? So this would be negative 4a squared c minus b squared all over 4a cubed. Wouldn't it?
Is that a new line or?
That's just this. Goes to that. Like if I distribute the a in. Because I can do it, right? I'm just trying to make it easier to deal with. I'm running out of room. So this is gone. So this quantity over here is squared, so I have to take the what?
The square root of it?
The square root. So I have to square root this side and this side, yes.
What'd you do with the negative 1 over a?
The negative there, I distributed the a in.
Okay.
So then I get x plus b over 2a equals
2a minus b.
let's distribute this in. I don't like that negative hanging out there, do you? No? So that would be positive b squared and then minus 4a squared c. Yeah? All over.
Well, when you take the square root of 4.
Well, I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna write the square root. I just rearranged it. Can I erase above so I have room? You guys good if I erase above?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Miss Vic,
Yes.
I'm going to be painting during IEP, so can you not mark me absent today?
Yeah. Checking in.
Yeah. I'm checking it now because I'm going to go paint right now.
Okay. Thank you. Always check in with your IEP teacher. Okay. So now I'm wondering if I should have. I'm thinking. Okay, so I need to take the square root, don't I? So, I have a feeling I wasn't supposed to do the one thing. Just a second. Okay, we're just going to keep going with it. Okay, so we can't take the square root of the numerator, can we? Can I take the square root of the numerator?
No.
No, because it's a quantity, right? But can I take the square root of 4
Yeah.
and the square root of... So... Oh my gosh. So I have x plus b over 2a equals the square root of b squared minus 4a. That's what I'm thinking. I shouldn't have had a... For a squared c all over 2a square root of a. Is that how I'd simplify that denominator? Because the square root of 4 is what? 2. And then the square root of a cubed is a square root of a. Okay. Now I'm still solving for x. So don't I have to subtract this over here?
Mm-hmm.
So I have x equals negative b
Cole?
Oh, when I take the square root, don't I do plus or minus?
I've heard that.
Yeah, I forgot that. Okay, negative b over 2a
That was my bad.
plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4a squared c all over 2a square root of a. Yeah, guys, can I just like do something? I shouldn't have brought this a over. So this shouldn't be here. And
Sounds good, Ivy.
that should be like that. Do you see what I did? I brought this a, like when I did this, right here. See, I just got rid of it.
Oh, yeah, A would be 1 anyway.
See, I had it here, and I shouldn't have had it there. So I'm sorry. Okay, so I have this. Do I have common denominators? I have 2a and a 2a, right? So I have x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, I have a question for you. Have you seen b over 2a before?
Yeah.
That's the vertex, right? Yeah. This right here is the quadratic formula. Now, you will never have to, we derived it, we made it. You ever going to have to make it again? No, because you're going to do what?
Do the quadratic for it.
Well, you're going to remember it. Okay? This is the quadratic formula. We derived it. That means like making it. And you're never going to have to do that again because you are going to remember it forever. Because if you don't remember it forever, you have to do everything we just did. Do you want to do that again?
No.
No. So, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a is the quadratic formula. I could say it frontwards, backwards, upside down, in my sleep, because it is used all the time. I've had students before that hate to factor. They hate doing the a times c and figuring out the factors. So guess what they use every time they get a quadratic equation? They do the quadratic formula. They are really good at it. And it works every time. Even if you can factor it, this works every single time. I really don't care how you do it, if you factor or this, but if you can't factor, what do you have to use?
Probably something else.
The quadratic formula. If you're using completing the square, are you essentially using the quadratic formula? Yeah, you're just taking a long time to get there. Wouldn't it be much easier just to jump to it? So every time you use it today, you're going to do what? You're going to write it. So x equals negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Where does the b over 2a come from? The vertex. The x value of the vertex. The h of the vertex, right? So, solve using the quadratic formula. So the first thing I'm going to do is what? Write it. What is it? X equals?
Negative a would be plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a.
Okay, so what is A? Yes.
I forgot the square of negative 4a. It's negative 4a squared.
No, remember I brought over the A and I shouldn't have. I erased it. Okay, what's A? 3. What's B?
4.
Negative 4. What's C?
Negative 9.
Negative 9. And you fill it in. So X equals, says negative B, so that's the opposite sign, yes?
4.
So it's 4 plus or minus b squared, so 16 minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. 3. So 12 times 9 is 108. Yeah? And it would be positive because a negative and a negative is a positive. So 108 and 16. 124. Is that right? Over 6. Wait. We have 4 plus or minus.
So 108 is 4 times.
Oh, 4 times 3 is 12 times 9 is 108.
Is that all you have to do?
We have to simplify. So 124, what do you know goes into it?
6 and 4.
What?
6.
6? Nope, 4 does. So 4 goes in here 31 times, I think, right? So what's the square root of 4? 2. So 4 plus or minus 2 square root of 31 over 6. Now, if something goes into every single thing after you factored, you can reduce. So what goes into 4, 2, and 6?
2.
2. So x equals 2 plus or minus the square root of 31 over 3. You took out 2 of everything.
Yeah.
So there are 2 answers there, correct? There's 2 plus the square root of 31 divided by 3 and 2 minus the square root of 21 over 3. The minus is going to be a negative in this case because the square root of 31 is larger than 2, isn't it? Okay, don't know what it is, but I know it's bigger than 2. Somewhere between 5 and 6, probably closer to 6. How did I figure that out? What are the square roots I know around 31?
1.
What are the closest perfect squares near 36?
6? Wait, no, wait, what? It's in 36.
Or 31. I gave you one of the answers. 36 and 25. So is 31 closer to 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably closer to 6. Somewhere between 5 and 6, closer to 6. And that's what?
Where? How does a 4 just like disappear from taking a 2 out?
The 4 didn't disappear.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 divided by 1 is 1. Or 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Did I squish it together too much?
I must just have it written down wrong.
Oh, okay. Did you have 4? Oh, you didn't take the square root of 4. Sam.
What's that?
You probably just brought out the 4 and didn't take the square root of it. Because the square root of 4 is 2. Okay. So, I want you to try that one on your own. Square root, or x squared minus 9x plus 27. This assignment today is about remembering the quadratic formula. Because everyone can plug it in, right? I would assume. Try it, Coop.
Times 9 is 81, right?
You guys started enough I could start? Or not yet? Why'd I get no solution?
Probably because that's the answer.
No, that's
There's
a
an
question.
I.
Why is there an I?
I'm so confused right now.
Because isn't your 37 negative?
Where'd you get a 37?
Isn't 27 times 4 108?
Yeah.
So you have 108 is negative?
Oh, yeah.
Yes?
So
Where did you get 4?
I got 31 because I did 4 times 1 equals 4, and then 4 plus 108, and then I got
Wait. No, this is 4AC, so it's 4 times A times C.
yeah, and A is 1.
Right, so 4 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 27 is 108.
I actually plugged in 9 for 4.
I think you multiplied and then added instead of just multiplying. So this would have been the square root of negative 37. Yes? So it's negative, so it's imaginary, so is it a real solution? No. Remember, solutions are also called x-intercepts
Why'd you put an I there?
because it's negative, the square root of negative 37.
How'd you get 37?
Isn't 108 minus 81 37? No, that would be 27. Sorry. So it's still no solution, but I can simplify it, can't I? Sorry. So it's negative 27. So that'd be 3 square root of 3i.
That's where I'm at.
So this graph
You gotta do it.
doesn't cross the x-axis, does it? That's all that tells you. What's wrong? Olive, what's wrong?
I think I was just thinking about it.
Are we good?
Yep.
So guess what we're going to do again? Do it again. Do we need to do it together? Well, first thing we're going to do is what?
Write down.
Write down the formula without looking at where you wrote it before. X equals
Minus B.
negative b
Nothing.
plus or minus
The square root of B something.
b squared minus 4ac
Over 2A.
all over 2a. You guys want to try again on your own?
Yeah.
Come.
So in this one, is it gonna be negative 6 or positive 6?
It's going to be negative because it's always the opposite sign. So that negative b just means opposite sign. Cole?
What?
Cole? I'll make you stand up.
But I'm not tipping. He's the one that's tipping.
Yeah, but you're trying to sleep.
You're really just riding.
So please do the problem.
Yeah.
Got it. There's no.
Alex, you need to stop. You're being very distracting to people who are trying to learn.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Okay, so did you get -3 plus or minus the square root of 3 over 2?
No.
Yes.
I'm gonna get the 3.
Did you reduce out of 2? Did you get -6 plus or minus 2 square root of 3 over 4?
No, I got negative 6
No.
plus or minus square root of 16 over 2. And then I did
Isn't 4 times 2 times 3 12? I mean 24?
I'll sort. I'll put-
Well, 4 times 2 is -8. Negative 4 times 2 is -8.
Times 3.
Oh, we have to times the 8 by the 3?
AC.
Oh,
4
I
AC.
thought that we times 4 by A and then 4 times C and then add them together.
4 AC. First time I did it in my brain, I did 36. Is it okay to have 36 minus 36?
No,
Yes.
that's 0.
So what's the square root of 0? 0. So is that okay?
36 minus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means the vertex is the x-intercept, right? But I was wrong because 4 times 2 times 3 is not 36. Okay, so try the next one. This is legitimately it, guys. So 3x squared minus 2x plus 7. I don't even need to finish this one.
Why?
Alex, why aren't you doing the problem that I have on the board?
I'm doing your 6 missing assignments.
Okay, you shouldn't be doing that because this is just as important as them.
Okay.
Okay, why did I not even finish that out? Anybody tell me? You have 4 times 3 times 7. Is that going to be larger than 4? So is that going to be a negative answer in there? Yeah, big time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be, isn't that 84?
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 84 over 6. So I can keep going as practice. So 4 times 21. So
Well,
3.
you didn't minus the 4.
No, it is 4 order of operations.
You didn't add the 4.
Or listen, order of operations. Do you multiply first or subtract?
I multiplied and then I added the 4 over. That it would be.
Oh, 80.
square root of negative
80. Okay, I thought you were telling me to subtract the 4 from the 4. I'm like, no. Yes. Okay, 80, so that's 4 times 10. So it's 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 10 I over 6. So 1 plus or minus the square root of 10I over 3. So it's important to be able to do it, but are there any solutions, any real solutions? No. So it's no, what should go there? Real. So are there any x-intercepts? No. That's what that's telling you. If I were to graph using this, I'd be finding my x-intercepts, and there aren't any. So then I got to plug in points. Fun, fun. Is it getting easier to plug in here?
Yeah.
Yes. You got a worksheet.
Do we need to?
Assignment.
Yeah, can we start working?
Yep. Yes, that's fine. Okay. That's just what we have. No. When we have a quadratic, we have how many solutions? We have 2, we have 1, or we have what?
0.
That's it. Okay. Let me get your worksheet.